Reporting live, Saturday, March 30th, 2019. It's about noon. I'm here at the Maston Campground, the trailhead to Old Loggers Path. With me, I have Pink Eye and Duchess, who's still getting ready as always. So it's about a 28-mile loop, so we're looking to get about 14 or 15 done today. Close to the same tomorrow, maybe camp out here Saturday night and then get back in the vehicle early on Monday morning, head home. Starting to drizzle a little bit. It's not too bad. Through the forest cover, it's more of like a spit. Definitely see that we're starting to get a little wet though. A little icy spots on top of the mud. Like I said, it's not too bad. The grade isn't too bad. It's about what I expected. You know, moderate to the easy side right now. It's an old loggers path, so I didn't expect it to be too aggressive of a path. We do have a few water crossings. I know it's been real rainy down here the past few seasons, so water's not going to be scarce, and you might have to get wet a little bit. That's all part of the fun, right? This is a trail I've been wanting to do for a while now, probably close to a year. Pink Eye and I had plans to do it in August. We actually drove up here after work late on a Friday, and because of the rain and the washouts, we were unable to get to the trailhead, and we ended up driving around aimlessly through the game lands about 20 miles away from here, trying to find alternate routes, eventually just camping out on the side of the road. So it's good to finally be here. The trail's been great so far. It stopped raining, it's just drizzling a little bit now. Sun's starting to peek through. We made it to this area right here with this nice Old Loggers Path saw, and we're just going to keep plugging away here and enjoying the day. Making our way through. We just finished our first big hill, big climb. Now leveled out a little bit. We did miss the trailblaze. We were a little caught up in conversation, and it tends to be how it happens. About 4 o'clock now, so we're thinking within the next 2 hours we'll start looking at where we want to set up camp for the night. I need to allow myself a little extra time. Try that tarp tent again. If you may have watched the last video, you know, struggled with a little bit, but tarp tent actually saw my YouTube video and they saw my Instagram. They offered me some advice, so I'm going to guide out a little bit more. I got the additional stakes, face it towards the wind, so I got all the advice I need. Now I just got to execute it. All Alright, it's about 10 to 5. We've made it to our first and possibly only vista of the day. Beautiful, little smoky, a little hazy, a little misty, but I'll take it. Day in the mountains beats the hell out of a day pretty much anywhere else. Took a long break, enjoyed the views, checked out the map and the guide, and saw that there's a few campsites about 1.25 miles away. So a little after 5 still. Hoping to get there relatively soon, set up camp, maybe get a fire going if we can. Fires are authorized now, it's wet enough. So just looking forward to getting camp set up and enjoying the night. Found where we're gonna sleep for tonight, right here near the Doe Run shelter. Looks pretty new. I'm not sure how old it actually is, but it seems to be in great shape. I've got a couple campsites here, plenty of space for the tents. I'm gonna get going and set up that tarp tent. Looks good. Everything's tight, everything's pulled out the way it should be. Bottom hem pulled tight all the way around. Very excited about this. I feel good. I feel confident. Got my stuff in there. Pink eye stuff is in there. There's plenty of space for 2 sleepers. No one's on top of each other. Very nice. Right now, got the campfire going. Finding dry wood was a little bit of a challenge, but it looks like we did all right. Probably hang out for about an hour, chill out, get to camp, get to bed rather. Probably around 9 o'clock, wake up at 6. I think so far everyone agrees that today was great. Looking forward to tomorrow. We only ended up doing just shy of 11 miles today. So tomorrow is probably going to be closer to 16 if we want to get back to Maston to camp out there. We'll see how it goes. Weather's a little iffy. Expected to be low 40s right now. Chance of showers. So we'll see what it's all like. Other than that, I'll sign off for the night and see you in the morning. Good morning. It's now Saturday. It's actually warmer than I expected. It feels like it's in the high 40s, low 50s. And I have great news to report that the tent held up perfectly last night. Held up like a beast. We had some wind gusts. We had some heavy rain starting at about 2 o'clock, going through about 4:30. I'm talking like really heavy rain. And the seam sealing held up. The stitching held up. The trekking pole didn't go anywhere. The guy line stayed out perfectly. I had the heavy rocks on it. So I am extremely pleased. There was plenty of space for Pink Eye and myself. There's probably about 3 inches in between us, so plenty of livable space. Getting ready. This morning was a breeze, packing everything up. I'm thrilled. I'm happy. As you know, I had a little bit of doubts there for a while, but I couldn't be happier right now. This tent is amazing. Alright, so for breakfast today we're trying muffin bombs. It's a recipe I got off of Our World Outdoors, which is Tony and Missy's YouTube channel. And they do a bunch of dehydrated food. They have playlists out there for pretty much anything you can imagine. So I highly recommend checking that out. I'll put a link in the description. But what we did today is dehydrate blueberry muffins. Actually did it a couple days ago. And then until it's about crouton consistency. And then you throw it in the oatmeal, let it come back to life. And it's just a great way to add some calories to a quick breakfast. Alright. So we're back on the trail. Like I said, we have a little bit of a bigger day today, somewhere a little more than 16 miles. Shouldn't be too bad. Trail's definitely a lot more wet than it was yesterday because of all the rain we had last night. I know we have a few stream crossings, and according to the guide there'll be some seasonal stream crossings, which I'm sure at this point they're flowing pretty good. But it's a little colder today. It's been raining off and on. I think it's getting colder actually as the day goes on, because I know tonight's supposed to get down into the 20s, so probably a cold front coming in. But we're moving, we got some big inclines coming up. That should warm us up pretty fast. All right, so it looks like we made it to the first real ascent of the day. Kind of climbing up here. Like I said, it's a little slick, but we're gonna take our time, get up there. Great view here. It's right off the trail. You don't have to sidetrack onto an outcrop or anything like that. It's pretty great. It's actually not too windy up here either. It's somewhere around mile 13. Got a little more of a ridge walk here before we make our descent. So I never mind walking up on ridges like this. Look to my right and just see the endless mountains out there. Absolutely beautiful. You can tell it's getting colder outside because typically when I'm hiking for an hour or two, I'm starting to drop layers. Today I'm starting to add them on, so that cold front's definitely rolling in. Can't seem to warm up right now. It's not too bad. It's definitely bearable, but usually by this time I'm just down to shorts and a base layer. So we just hit the halfway point on the trail. So we have a little more than 13 miles left today, and that should bring us to the end of the trail. So it's a little after 10 right now. We're looking pretty good. All right, we stopped for a quick lunch break. Today on the menu we have tuna, trail mix, and M&Ms. So, got a little bit of all the best worlds, all my favorite things. Probably about 10 miles, maybe a little over left. The rain's held out so far. It sprinkled a little bit early in the morning. Still continues to get a little colder. We're moving around more, so it's hard to notice until we're stopped. Looks like the sun came out to join us a little bit. Pennsylvania, the Sunshine State. All right, made it back to Maston, about 20 to 6, so we made a little better time than we expected. A few takeaways from the trail. It's a plethora of campsites, tons of water, a couple good views. We only saw one other person out there, day one. So day two, there were no other backpackers or hikers out there. Really great trail, very well maintained, very well marked. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, hit the button. Stay up to date on the Hawkeye videos. And as always, you heard it here first.
Victory!